Well, hello there, my name's Tom Slack, and I'm a professional artist. Welcome to My Canvas Excursion. Today, we'll be talking about... What? You want to be an artist? You know you'll starve! If you ask most school children what their favorite subject in school was, besides lunch and recess, it's art. I loved art. I was always drawing. I drew myself in the mirror. I'd hear a story and I'd try to illustrate it. My cousin and I even did a newspaper. We called it the Smurtville Star. In high school, the cheerleaders would always have me do posters for them. When it was time for me to decide my major in college, I remember I would look in the catalog to see what I would major in. And I'd turn the page and I'd look at it. That looks really good. No, can't take that. That's art. And I'd look some more. Nope, art, I can't do it. So I did the responsible thing. I took communications, business, and accounting. Then one day, I was on a sales call in Vernal, Utah. Vernal was quite a ways away, so it was going to be an overnight trip. So I went out there, I did my sales call, and then I checked into a hotel. And I slept. And I got up and realized that I didn't have anything going until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought I'd just sit in the hotel and make calls, see if I could line something else up. The only problem was, before too long, there was a knock on the door, and the hotel manager told me I had to leave because there was someone else who was supposed to come in. Well, I still had quite a bit of time before my appointment, so I decided, well, I better go do something. So I just got in the car and drove around to see what I could see, but it's such a small town, there really wasn't much. But I noticed a road that was heading up into the mountains, and so I decided I'll just go up there and see what there is. And so I drove, and it was great, it was pretty, but then it was cold, and I could see there was snow. Well, to make a long story short, I got stuck in a snowdrift, and it was bad. And I thought, well, I'll just kind of back out. And I tried to rock the car back and forth, put it in reverse and forward, and it wouldn't move. It was stuck. I was in there really good, and I was surrounded by snow. Well, I thought, wow, well, I need to get going because I have a 1 o'clock appointment. And I tried to get the door open, roll down the window, and tried to had the door open some, and was kicking the snow and trying to do everything I could to get out. But I couldn't. And 1 o'clock came. I was still there in the car. And I kept trying and trying. And I was getting cold. I was surrounded by snow, and I was digging away with my hands. Well, with cold, old snow, it's like digging on sandpaper, and my hands were getting bloody, down my arms. I was not wearing my sports jacket. It was in the back seat of my car, and so I had blood down on wet sleeves. It was bad. Well, soon 1 o'clock came, and I thought, well, I have one at 3. For sure I'll get out. And I was trying and trying and trying, and finally got the door sort of open and kind of get my legs underneath, kicking the snow away, and I couldn't. It wouldn't move. And I was getting flustered, and well, soon it was 4 o'clock, and then it was 5 o'clock, and then it started getting dark, and I didn't know what to do. there I was stuck. And at the time, people didn't have cell phones. I was supposed to be home that night. I had no way to tell my wife where I was. So it was really bad. And I was freezing. I'd turn the engine on and have the heater blowing at me, but then I noticed that the gas gauge was going down, and I thought, well, I better not run the car out of gas, and so I'd turn it off and hope that I'd be okay. But I was cold, and I was just in a little Toyota Corolla. And so I was up in the front seat, and in the seat on the side I had this big container with all my stuff in it, so I couldn't sit there, but my legs were feeling cramped and I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of climbed up over the back of the seat, and I had my legs up over the front seat for a while, and that was uncomfortable, so I flipped them up over the other way, so I was all in the back seat. It was such a little car and I couldn't hardly fit. It was really uncomfortable. So I went on and on, back and forth, trying to get comfortable, and open the door, trying to get out, and digging, kicking, and I was just in there. I was stuck, and I was under a bunch of snow. Well, after a while, I just knew I was stuck and I couldn't do anything, and I just was sitting there in the car. And soon it was 11 o'clock. It was midnight. And I was really shook up, and I was worried what my wife would think, because she didn't know where I was, and no one else did either. Well, the time went by. I was colder and colder, and I knew I was going to die. And I felt really sad. I wasn't sad that I was going to die. I was sad because I hadn't gone after my dream of being an artist. And I thought to myself, if there's any way possible I get out of this alive, which I knew I wouldn't, I'm just going to say phooey on it and I'm going to go for it. Well, it went on and on. Then it started getting light outside, and I was really cold and really shaking, and it was awful. And I did have some windows that were open so I could see out a little bit, and I started seeing the snow was starting to fall really hard, and I thought, man, if I don't get out of here now, I'm going to be buried and they won't find me for a long time. So somehow, and I don't know how, because I don't remember, I got out of the car and started walking. But the road was really steep like this, and I remember walking and I'd slip and fall on my back, and I was freezing and shaking. I don't really remember what happened because it was too weird. Somehow somebody picked me up. I must have been quite a sight, because here I was, I had messy hair, I had a white shirt on, soaked up to here, and blood all over. And I must have been really quite a sight, but they picked me up and drove me down into Vernal. Somehow, somebody was able to get my car and bring it to me. I don't remember how I ever got home. But I did get home, and I thought, wow, I think I need to do what I was thinking of. It was kind of scary. But I remember I took my stuff in to my boss in this container, walked into her office, set it on her desk, said goodbye, and I walked out the door. Well, the next thing I did was, well, I had to figure out what to do or earn some money, so I got a temporary job at a factory emptying trash. I just go around the whole place, empty all their trash, take it out, and put it in someplace and burn it. I did that for 2 weeks, and after that 2 weeks, I knew I was going to do it. Went back to school. I was in my 40s, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
line flat, VFA, painting and drawing.
As soon as the graduation was over, we packed, put our car on the trailer in the back, and we drove across the country. We went to Indiana so I could start my art career. I did become a successful artist, but it sure wasn't easy. It was tough. I'm going to tell you about my journey. I'll explain to you how I got into a gallery and some other fun stories to go with that. So please subscribe right over here and join me on my journey on My Canvas Excursion. Follow your dreams.